Let's provide access to your robot remotely to your students. For this, go to the option My Labs in order to create your remote lab. Click on the green button, register a new laboratory, and fill the form. First, indicate your institution name. In this case is testing one, my own institution. Indicate here the type of institution, if it is a company, a university, whatever. And then you can provide, if you want, the URL for your institution. On the next screen, provide an image for identifying your lab. This is recommended in order to make it clearer to the students. I'm selecting one image that I have prepared, and then I'm indicating here the name of the remote lab that I am creating in order to identify. Then the number of sessions, and then I activate also. On the next screen, we are going to select which days and for what times the lab is going to be available for the students so they can book sessions. This has to be configured in this screen, and this has to be, you have to take into account the times in which somebody is going to be there in the lab in order to help the students in case something goes wrong with the robot or has to reset position. Once you finish, click on the green button, and then now you can go inside your remote lab that shows your configuration here, and now you have to start including the robots that your robot can provide. First, register your first robot. It's good that you indicate one image for that robot, and then a name also. So by doing those two things, you can easily identify the robots of your remote lab. Then indicate which ROS distribution is running, and if it is active, present, if it is switch on. If it is, do it, and then by clicking on the next button, then you will get this code, this bash code here, that is the one that you have to copy and type inside the computer of your robot. So let's go to the terminal that is going to be connected to the robot. Let's connect to our robot, which is a JetBot. And I'm doing an SSH from my computer to the computer of the robot, which is in the same, it is connected, it is switched on and on the same Wi-Fi, my computer. I am there. Yeah, so I'm checking that I have files. Okay, so it's great. Now I am copying and pasting this command that the lab provided me for this specific robot. So I'm copy pasting, and this, what it's going to do is going to install in the robot the server that it's going to allow to establish the communication between the robot and the students. So that takes a few minutes. It's important that you do this for each one of your robots, but take into account that this command is different for each robot because it's setting specific identifier. So then later your students, when they want to book a session with one of the available robots, they will have to decide to select to which one. We are going to see how this works in a minute after we finish configuring this remote lab. So it's about to finish. And then once this is completely done, our robot will be ready, configured, so it can communicate with the remote lab, and then the remote lab can establish a connection with the student's computer. So that's it. I am getting out and in again in order to source the new variables and so on. I'm starting the raw score on my the robot. You may have this already done. Is this just example for this robot that needs to be starting the raw score, and also I have to set the drivers to control the motors. So I'm going to show you later how we can remotely control this robot using this new lab. Okay, so that's the driver. So everything is on my robot done. It's configured to communicate with the remote lab, and also is running ROS and the controllers to move the robot. So that's done, everything. Let's click update. Now my robot is available in this remote lab that I have created. Then you can see here this gray zone. This gray zone is the one that is going to show the camera that it's pointing to the robot lab. What does it mean? It means that, yes, we have to show how the robot is in reality, not only to send the data, but also the camera. So we click on start in order to start showing the camera. And what is this camera? So you can see here my hand is in real time. I'm moving the robot. That's the setup of my fake remote lab that I'm doing here for this demonstration. And this is the camera that the students are going to see about the status of the robot. And this camera is attached to the computer. We are going to see that in a minute. So here is my computer, which is showing here the whole setup that I have done, the robot, the camera. You can see my computer, and it's also here the robot, the remote one, then the camera that is pointing towards the area that I want to show to the students. And this camera is connected through the cable to the computer. Yeah, this one, that is the one that is providing the camera streaming through this screen. And as you can see, the camera is in real time, so it has just a few milliseconds of delay. I'm moving my hand, and then you can see that it's showing in real time there. Great. So now that we have this, how do we do? Then I'm logging as another user, as a student. So how a student will access that? Then it will go to this area where it says Real Robot Lab. And then first thing is to book a session with that lab. So click on this Book Now button, and you can see here our new robot, it appears there. They have to select it, then select the distribution at present only ROS melodic, and then select the day and time that is available in green that he would like to access. And that's it. Confirm, and this robot is booked for that student. Here we can see the details of the booking, the day and the time, and at present is 1 hour. So it is 30 minutes from current time that my session will be available. How do we access to that robot? How does student access to the robot once it's booked? Well, you go to the projects list and then create a new project. It has to be noetic, by the way, in order to do this connection. So you create a new project, or you can use any other project that you already have also. I'm putting some, filling this new project, I'm making it private, and there it is, testing Ricardo's lab. Once it is there, I have to run it. Remember, you can run that project or any other project that you may have. This is just an example. So after a few seconds, it's open. Then I have to click on this icon in order to connect to the real robot. And once the connection is established, the camera will appear inside the project. So you can see here, this is the camera in the real time, the one that I shown you. And you can see my hands there also moving around. Here the robot. Now let's launch a terminal and let's see if we can see the topics of the robot remotely, and if we can move the robot also. So there are the topics of the controllers that I have launched for this example. Now let's go and let's make the robot rotate. Remember, this computer is a cloud computer. You see that this is running inside the browser, all this. So it's from any location you can access to this. Now I'm moving the robot, I'm sending the command to rotate, and that's it. I'm going to stop it. And now I'm going to move it forward. Let me launch the same command to move forward. So this is the driver that is at present on this robot. Don't pay too much attention to this strange. So now it has crashed against the wall. Let me stop it. Send it again a stop command. And yeah, that's it. I'm going to put it back into the initial position. Okay, so basically that's the behavior of the robot lab. So how you would configure your robot lab, provide this. Students can also disconnect even if the time is not available, and that's good to disconnect. If they don't do it, this is not necessary. Then after the session, the system will disconnect automatically, but that's a very good option to do it. And basically that's it.